Our Protestant brothers and sisters often claim that the Catholic notion of purgatory does not appear anywhere in the sacred scriptures. In fact, the second book of Maccabees, chapter 12, pretty clearly describes a scene where Judas Maccabeus and his Jewish soldiers took up a collection and sent it to the temple in Jerusalem as a sin offering to atone for some of their fellow soldiers who had been slain. Yet, there is an even more persuasive example that we find in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5. Here, at the heart of his Sermon on the Mount, Jesus instructs his followers to come to terms quickly with your accuser while you are on the way to court with him, or your accuser may hand you over to the judge, and the judge to the guard, and you will be thrown into prison. Truly, I tell you, you will never get out until you have paid the last penny. You might wonder what this has to do with purgatory. Well, in the early 200s, the church father Tertullian interpreted this story as a parable, with the prison standing as a metaphor of the purgatorial suffering the soul must undergo to be cleansed of the temporal effects of sin, necessary for perfect union with the perfect God. This seems to make sense since the surrounding passages from the Sermon on the Mount are all about heaven, hell, and mortal and venial sins. Additionally, it is interesting that the Greek word for prison that we find in this passage of Matthew is the same word used by St. Peter in 1 Peter 3, verse 19, to describe the holding place into which Jesus descended after his death for the purpose of liberating the just souls being held there. Lastly, St. Paul, in his first letter to the Corinthians, speaks of the judgment of God and salvation of mankind happening only as through fire. The same image of purifying fire can be found in the Psalms as well. Let us pray for all the holy souls in purgatory, that like fire tried gold, they may shine with all the saints in heaven before the throne of God.